Hi Kent. Starting another episode. Cue intro now. Alright, so this is the next item on the list. Doesn't look like much, but it's a pre-made 1,000 horsepower fuel system. Capable. On E85, I believe? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, alright, we'll start over here. They have all the pre-made lines. It's a -10 feed with a -8 return. I'm not going to take it all out of the bag. We have two fuel rails, CNC, black ones.
Vision X. It's a lethal performance fuel system.
Actually a really nice billet unit. Moving along, they give you the supplied hardware to tie up the lines. Distribution block from -10 to -6, I would believe. Another relay harness. Dual pump hangers. You're making noise, Kent. Alright, so we have a massive Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator. It's probably good for your mom. Huge stainless fuel filter. Twin Walbro 465s. And to top it all off, there's 8. It's not focusing very good. 8 ID 1300s. Now these are like the best of the best stainless steel core injectors.
I was gonna go with 1700s, but they aren't quite as good for drivability and for idle and
On pump fuel.
yes.
So
And it should be more than enough.
the reasoning behind this fuel system is to be able to run it on ethanol and pump fuel. The ID 1300s are going to provide good idling on pump fuel, and they're still going to provide plenty of fuel up top on ethanol, so they were like a good in-between injector for this power goal. It's actually sold as a 1400 rear wheel horsepower fuel system.
On gas.
Thanks, Lethal Performance. You guys are the best. And we have this,
Top hat.
yeah, nice billet top hat. It's pretty sex. For
Another.
whoa, they can't see that stuff. That's for another episode. Kent is real adamant on just going by the instructions. So,
Kyle does not like following instructions.
alright, according to this, step 1 is remove battery line from battery using 8mm socket. So that's what we're gonna do first. Come here, get a close-up. Hey Kent,
Hey!
I did step 1. Step 2. Relieve fuel pressure by releasing excessive fuel from fuel rails through the Schrader valve located on passenger side of fuel rail. Okay. There is no fuel pressure in the fuel line. Yeah. Step 2, done. Okay, now I'm still being a dick. Step 3. Remove fuel tank.
Whoa!
Whoa, okay, remove fuel tank. So instead of doing that as step 1, it is now step full. We pulled the tank out, it was really uneventful. We didn't have the factory Ford stupid disconnect tool, so we just cut the rubber line since it's getting replaced anyways, and it's full of fuel.
Smells good.
Already installed in the vehicle was a Walbro 255, and they have a Kennyville booster pump, and that is definitely not going to be enough, especially if we're going to use E85. So out goes this stock bullshit. Oh, wait. Fuel, caution, Mustang. Made a Mustang joke. Oh yeah, guess what broke at the track yesterday? Mustang. Holy contraption in here. What in the Jesus? Look.
Wow. Well, the new one looks much easier.
Well, it's safe to say that the factory Ford sending unit is a bit retarded.
Hey! Fucking magic!
Oh my god. Really, Kent? Alright, here's where we're at currently. We've got the fuel pump hanger. I did go ahead and install the level sender stuff, but now we got to start putting in the pumps. We got two Walbro 450s, they should just plug in, and let's try and get some filter socks on. So the filter just gets put on the bottom of the pump. Stop texting me. Anyways, it just goes into the bottom here. And it'll work its way in there. There we go. That's it. Do the same thing to the other one. Okay, so here's the orientation of the filters. That means the block is on this side. Meaning this pump goes sideways this way. It's like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Oh, they definitely make a good product. I can't even get it on. Ken keeps complaining that I run a 10-second pass. He's like, oh, bleh. And now here he is building a 1400 horsepower fuel system. What an asshole. This would have been way easier without the socks on it. I don't know why they tell you to put the socks on first. Alright, so I got the pump hanger installed. These were a real pain in the ass to push in. This is how it sits. Two 450s. So they both go into a manifold right here. And they go off to this dash 10 feed. And then it's a dash 8 return, which leads back to this line right here. Now this wire is for the factory fuel sending unit, so it'll retain the factory floater, and you'll still have your fuel gauge. I think the next step is to cut a piece of plastic out of the tank so this will fit in there. So let's see how that works out. Alright, so what I ended up having to do is, in the tank there's this baffle. I kind of broke it to shit, but it was spot welded on the bottom, 4 spot welds. And basically it just gets in the way of everything. So you have to pull it out, unless you have an 0304 Cobra tank apparently, where they are made for dual pump hangers. So we just pull this out, and then you gotta run more than a quarter tank of fuel because it's gonna slosh around a lot more now.
Yep.
Okay, well this is what it looks like final assembly, hopefully. We have the factory rubber sealer, yeah, whatever. But see if we can get all 3 pumps in here now.
Two pumps.
All 2 pumps. I meant all 3 things.
Just the hardware for the top.
We're still hitting the bottom.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. We're hitting the bottom of the tank massively, actually. Okay, so I had to move the pumps up a little tiny bit to get the right depth for the pumps to sit on the bottom of the tank. So now this is the final assembly. We can bolt this in, and it's just 6 hex bolts on the top. So before trying to run the lines and figure out where everything tries to go, I'm going to try and get the new rails in place with the injectors, and then we can lay out all the lines and then make final assembly. So we have to pull off this charge piping here. It's not that difficult to do. I don't know my way around this engine bay too well, so there might be a bit of here and there and everywhere.
You can do it, put your back into it.
You can do it, put your ass into it.
I guess we are taking the throttle body off.
We're taking the upper intake off.
You gonna take the upper intake off?
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to take this upper intake off just to get at both fuel rails.
Properly.
Properly, yeah.
Without making them scratched up. Because they're nice and anodized. Okay, why is that big just to hold a fucking throttle cable?
Engineers, bro.
You ever gonna stop making fun of my car, Kyle?
Well, I'm just gonna stop filming this. It's gonna take us about 45 minutes to get it off, and
Pull up. There you go.
there we go. Cool intake. Cool.
Lots of room now.
Lots of room to get the rails off.
That wasn't too difficult.
No, it wasn't.
Shut up!
Spilling fuel everywhere. Gotta go around
Take
it.
the seal out first.
Yeah. We're gonna have to go under the easier to come to the zone. Yes.
You looking for a bit?
I'm forgetting that you. Oh fuck! Put that in upside down. That you have a V8 in that.
It needs a lot of more fuel. And
Less
a lot more
fuel.
air.
Like you can throw less fuel in each cylinder and make the same amount of power. Put our new rails in place.
What the fuck is this here? Is this coolant?
Hey, you don't have to wire in any plugs, by the way.
That's kind of nice. They must had to do that with.
The old injector.
Yeah.
Or these are already made for IDs, and they just gave you the plugs anyways. So we're just gonna mock up this massive Aeromotive regulator. Just put the fittings in it.
A lot of it's probably blocked off, no? Mind you, with the deadhead setup, there's probably lots going in and out.
So this plug. All right, so we have our regulator. What's gonna happen is you got your feed coming this side, feed to both rails, and then return. And then you have distribution block, which is 8 in, 8 out, and this is gonna feed both rails. So off here, into that, into both rails. Okay, so quick update on things. We have both rails in, and we're just trying to reroute the lines. That distribution block that I showed you earlier goes back up here on the firewall. This line's gonna run into it up there. And then this one was actually supposed to run, that one's supposed to run on the front of the rail, but this pipe is in the way, so we're gonna run on the back of the rail and see if it'll fit over top of the intake up to the distribution block. So we're gonna test fit it with the intake now. And we'll run this here. Buddy,
Wait,
gold.
hold on. This isn't on correctly.
that's okay. It has lots of room to play here. But look, perfect.
But, yeah, okay, yeah.
Is it rubbing? Is it gonna rub too hard on that?
I don't fucking know, man.
I mean, we haven't tested it with the manifold on. What we're gonna have to do is go underneath the throttle body, in through this bracket here, and then up to the distribution block. And then the distribution block's actually gonna come over to the corner to the regulator, and we'll try and get all that mounted up and put on. And the UPS guy just came and dropped us off an intercooler. So here's our routing currently. It's gonna go from the distribution block into the regulator. On the bottom and on the side, there's a -8 and a -10. That's our feed and return. Comes down here underneath the car. It's gonna run along the subframe. This is gonna get mounted up on the other side of the subframe, and then the two lines go back to the tank. So we're back at the fuel system today. I got a new haircut. What we're gonna do is final assembly on the fuel system. We just have to tighten down all the and fittings, mount the regulator and the distribution block, the fittings on the tank. We gotta run the pre-made power wires and the car, and then test the fuel system, see if it leaks. I'm a bad filmer. So essentially we just tightened down all the fittings. That was very unentertaining. But we ran the power wire just along the car to the back. We filled up the tank a bit, and yeah, everything's just kind of hanging here. And we have no leaks, so everything can be bolted up for final assembly. And that's it for the fuel system. The pressure gauge still has pressure in it. We did it like 5 minutes ago now. You ready? Track ready.
Yes.
Eric's here too.
You're an LED.
Yeah, you're
I'm an LED.
Yeah. So make sure to subscribe. I have an Instagram, follow that, super_Williams. Kent has an Instagram too. I'm not gonna tell you it because he doesn't want people to follow him. But you probably should. It's like Kent_Stacy. Eric doesn't own Instagram. I don't know why you don't have Instagram.
Maybe not yet.
Yeah.
Eric's more antisocial than I am.
Anyways, peace out.